Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mings, and I welcome you guys back to Let's Play Staff of Ages 0% Growths. Sorry for taking some time to get this one out. This is a pretty long episode, nearly 20 minutes, and I've been pretty busy, but it is finally time to jump into Chapter 11. Now, if you watched my stream, I actually took on the final chapter live, but I am probably going to redo it since I spent like an hour doing it. I think I would prefer to keep the episode somewhat short, even though this one's like nearly 20 minutes, because these maps are starting to get really long at this point. So anyway, this chapter is a throne seize. However, in order to seize that throne, we got to get past a sage called Sebastian, and he's going on about like how he has this special weapon developed to win the war. It's really just an Excalibur tome with a funny name on it. I don't really know why he thinks that's going to help him. Like, there are plenty of other units in our army other than Bell who can kill him, but yeah, I guess he's like really smart or something. But this chapter is no joke. This chapter is where things starts to get really difficult, and I think out of all the chapters so far, this was the one I spent the longest time preparing for, because there are a lot of enemies on this map. There are a ton of reinforcements that are super dangerous. There are status staves, there are long-range tomes, and the enemies are starting to get really scary now. And my units are having big difficulties, like going up against even the unpromoted ones. You can see right here, Elijah took a lot of damage against this guy. The promoted units are an absolute nightmare and requires proper preparation. Units like Frederica are starting to lose their ability to just carry chapters like it's nothing. Of course, Frederica is still by far the most strong units we have on our team, and she will be doing a majority of the work this chapter, but even for her, I had to find some very creative solutions to make sure she didn't die, and even then, those strategies were less reliable than I would like them to be. But the first thing we need to do is we need to get through this initial pack of units right here. Nothing too dangerous, just a couple Pegasus Knights and an Archer. If you properly position your units so they can retaliate on enemy phase, they will mostly be weakened on player phase, and you can kill them even with your weakened units. I am making an effort to give Bell some experience at this point, because as I've said earlier many times, at level 10 she gets Charisma, which is a skill I very much need for the final chapter. So I try to feed her kills whenever I am able to. It's not particularly hard with her personal weapon, but it's still something you gotta be a little bit wary about. Sawyer and Owen too get wonderful buff skills when they hit level 10, which are going to be very pivotal in taking on Seneca in the next chapters, so I need to feed them as many kills as I can. That's not particularly easy to do though. Now, Marcus steals a red gem right here. Again, whenever you see a gem, you definitely should steal it. Staff of Ages is actually sort of stingy with its money. You don't get, like, a heap lot of money to buy equipment with. So whenever you see something stealable, you better go for it when you can. I'm just happy that Marquez has so much speed at base that he can steal from even fast units like Pegasus Knights without needing to gain level ups. Because, you know, it's a 0% growth strength, so he's not going to get any. Now, there are two paths you can take in this map. You can break down the snag, which is guarded by the Armor Knight to the right there, or you can go the long way around. Now, the problem with the path with the snag is that it eventually leads to a dead end with mountains, and there aren't many units we have that can actually cross those mountains. Most of our promoted units can cross mountains, some of our infantry units can, but certain infantry units are not able to do it, and our unpromoted cavalry units certainly cannot. Now, here you see Frederica take a pretty bad beating on enemy face. Again, this was pretty unlucky. And Kate displays her personal skill right here. I don't think I've ever talked about it. It's a pretty weird personal skill. She gains 10% crit whenever she's counterattacking, which, funnily enough, led her to crit twice here and deal with this Wyvern. Usually this Wyvern does not die on enemy face. I have to shoot him down with Stark on player face, so it's not a huge deal, but it was kind of funny that Kate crit twice there. But yeah, as I said, Frederica is going to be busy mopping up most of these enemies on the west-hand flank. And the enemies that she won't be able to kill, they're going to get mopped up by Elijah and Una. But first, I need to heal Frederica. Not just to heal her hit points, but also to give her that precious +3 defense boosts. I am having to rely more and more on this defense boost to get Frederica through difficult enemy phases. And here she needs to take on this Horse-Slayer Pegasus, which will actually come very close to killing her, but she has more movement than a Pegasus Knight at this point, so she can look close in on a Horse-Slayer and kill it before he can do anything back to her with her 2-range weapons, which is sort of nice. But yeah, as you can see right here, my Scrub Squad is getting ready to deal with a bunch of reinforcements that will show up from the south. 3 Cavaliers with varying weapons, and even though I have like 2 units that are effective against horse units, I actually fucked up. Usually I transport the halberd from Elijah down to Charles, but I forgot to do that this one, and you'll see that come back to bite me in the ass later. Because I thought that all those units would be enough to kill 3 Cavaliers, but yeah, those guys are all pretty bad. I mean, they're like my initial units, so at this point they are among my weakest, so they really struggle here. And this is the enemy phase where I usually have to rely on the +3 defense boost, but I'm pretty lucky here and I dodged a lot of incoming attacks, so it didn't end up being necessary. The Shaman you see to the north there, he has a Siege Tome, a Dark Siege Tome. Siege Tomes in Staff of Ages have 3-7 range as opposed to the 3-10 that we're used to. There used to be a lot more Siege Tomes in the previous versions, but people complained a lot about it, so they took them out. And they left some, but there are like maybe just 1 or 2, I think, in the first arc, whereas previously there used to be like 3 or 4 in the final map, if I remember correctly, which really drove people insane, so I'm really glad that they fixed that. Now, Elijah struggles a little bit here, mopping up Frederica's sloppy seconds, but he has the help of Una, so it should be fine. And as you can see, these 2 mages actually survive. Usually they get 2-shot, but they spawned with just enough hit points or resistance to not get 1-rounded by Frederica, which is a little bit annoying, but you know, this happens when you as I said, like at the start of this LP, whenever I restart, I also reset the map so I get different stats on enemies. So I have to take that into account whenever I play. I can't base my strategies around certain stats. That's something that I decided very early on that I did not wanna base my strategies around. So right now I picked up Marquez. I'm gonna use Marquez to steal something that the boss has. It's not gonna be super important. Yeah, this is right here. This is where I realized I didn't have the halberd. I'm like, oh shit, can I do it without the halberd? I don't know, I got the Belial, and I got the EP from Bell, so it should be enough. But I realized that I actually don't think it will be enough, because usually I take Charles with the halberd, and I kill the Lance Cav, because he one-shots the Lance Cav. But here I can't do that, so I'm like, shit, alright, guess I'm gonna have to rely on Bell's Rapier then. But then I'm like, oh shit, there's a Cavalier down to the south that I'm probably not gonna be able to kill now. But it's fine, I can always surround him. He's gonna chug a short spear on Bell, but you know, what can you do? At least it won't force a reset. It's just going to be slightly annoying. I could have attacked the Cavalier that Bell killed from the north, and I wouldn't have to deal with that. But hey, shit happens. Not something I need to reset over. Now, Federica, she's going to make her way across the bridge, and she's going to slowly make her way towards the forts where the Armor Knights are, and right here I get critted. I actually forgot about that. Now, Kate has a Sword Reaver, so that was actually a crit through a weapon triangle disadvantage, which means that with the Reaver weapon, which like reduces might by 2, because Reaver weapons double the weapon triangle advantages and penalties, that means that Kate survived solely because of that Reaver weapon, because she was left with 6 hit points, and crits are tripled. So, if you do the math, you'll see that if it wasn't for that Sword Reaver, she actually would have died, which is pretty funny. It's funny to notice small numbers like that when you do 0% growth, so you won't necessarily notice that otherwise. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. No need to reset just yet. Now, at this point, I can't really move any further, and the reason why is we're gonna be getting a lot of reinforcements coming out of the castle any moment now. And Federica on a fort is pretty much the only one who can deal with these guys. Now, I check if Kate can deal with this archer, but she lacks just 1 point of damage to kill him, which is really annoying. There's another archer there covering him, so I'm just gonna have to lure this archer out. But yeah, there are already some pre-promotes, as you can see, and I know that it's not, people get really triggered when I call them pre-promotes. Sorry, it's just a matter of speak. I know they're just promoted units. Pre-promotes is referring to a player unit, but yeah, I call them pre-promotes, shoot me. Now, in addition to the guys that are there, we're also going to get assailed by a lot of Wyverns and Pegasus Knights, as well as Status Staves. So this is the part of the map where I'm like, can I really do this? Now, this bishop has a silence staff, and it's super important that you place Una in this position so that he goes for Una. Because if he silences Federica, it's a game over. You'll not be able to progress any further. Because that's like 5 turns where she won't be able to do anything. I don't have a restore staff with me, and even if I did, Federica's kind of on her own. I can't really get Una up there, so I was super lucky he missed on the first try. Usually I'm used to him hitting Una with that silence there, and then on the second turn he goes after Aurora, and then I have to kill him before he silences Federica with his third use. But I was super happy here. He missed Una, which means that he's going to expend his second use on Una, and if I'm lucky, he's going to expend his third use on Aurora, which means that Federica will be safe. But sometimes he likes to go and silence Federica, so it doesn't always work out like that. Now, here I derp and I place Bell in range of the archer. I don't really know what I was thinking here, but everyone else can pretty much just sit back right now. For now, this is going to be like the Federica show, because I need to get her onto that fort. It's the only way she will survive. Even then, as you can see right now, she takes a lot of hits, and this is where I'm like, oh shit, this is a reset. This is absolutely a reset. There is no way she's going to survive that Great Knight, because, and here comes the silence staff again, and this time he hits. There is something incredibly sneaky about that halberdier up there. It's actually not a halberdier, it's a Great Knight. You'll see in a little while. I don't know why Staff of Ages does this. I think it's just a placeholder model. But yeah, I was really pissed off about that. So I need to get rid of this archer if I want to start transporting units across. Of course, I'm in no rush to do that because I need to deal with those promoted units before I can start ferrying my units across. Well, or else they'll just die. It's as simple as that. Most of these units will kill me. I place... I started to move Una up because I actually need Una to help with the boss. And the village to the west gives an elixir. I actually was tempted to sort of visit that and give that to Federica because it would have been really nice on this turn. But I come to the conclusion that I don't have time for it, because by the time these reinforcements show up, and I think they're turn-based, I'm not sure. Here you can see the stealth Great Knight just suddenly transforming. That can take you really off guard if you're not aware of it. There's also a meteor mage here, which is really annoying. But yeah, as I said, I wanted to go get the elixir from the village to heal Federica, but I'm not sure if I have the time for it, because by the time these reinforcements come up, I need to kill one of the knights and I need to occupy the fort, because without the 20 dodge from the fort, there is no way Federica will survive this enemy phase. As you can see, she barely survives with the fort. And even then, there is a sniper that can attack her, and snipers are pretty accurate. So I was pretty sure this was going to be a reset. As you can see, there's still like 3 enemies that can attack her. If the sniper hits her, I'm fairly certain that will kill her. The magic enemies don't do much against her because she has insane resistance. And I believe she still has a little bit of the pure water that she had. This guy had a 34% chance to kill her, so it's a pretty big miracle that she survived this enemy phase. The Sage Sebastian, he also has a physics staff, and he's going to heal up the sniper, which is really annoying, but he doesn't fully top him off, so that means that I can kill him. Now, Aurora misses right here, which makes me really happy, because I'm like, wow, that is incredibly lucky, because that means he wastes his silence staff, and he's not going to be able to silence Federica. And I have had to restart a lot of times on this map because Federica gets silenced just as she's about to attack the boss, which is really annoying, because if she gets silenced, she gets killed. She's not going to be able to defend herself, she's just going to get swarmed and killed. It's really annoying. Now here, I decided to give Kate a little bit of a speed buff, because I really want to kill that bishop. That bishop can still ruin things for me, so I would ideally like to kill him. However, I'm a little bit unlucky. Or, well, I wouldn't say that unlucky, that was just Mang's math, really. I just realized that, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to kill the bishop. Luckily, we have Belle, and no other enemies are in range of Belle, and with her rapier, she's so accurate, I decided to give her the kill. I also did this because I really wanted to get the experience on her. This was because, like, I really want Belle to become level 10 at this point, so I was willing to take a little bit of risk to feed her that kill. So at this point, the map looks mostly done, but we're not quite there yet. There's still 2 Vibrants left, there's still that Meteor Sage, and I still need to get Marquess in range of the boss. It's not super important that I get him in range of the boss, but I kinda want to, because the boss has a, he has a Hoplon Guard. Now this Hoplon Guard obviously prevents him from getting crit. Lily almost dies here, I was really worried there. Now without the Hoplon Guard, you can steal it off him. Now he drops it anyway, so you don't really need to steal it if you don't, like, want to. But if you take it off him, then Federica suddenly has a pretty good chance to crit him. And that can save a couple turns. So I was like, okay, I'm willing to drop Marquez in range to try and steal that Hoplon Guard, so that there's a small chance I might get a crit on him. Now, right here, I decide, you know, why not attack this guy with Marquez and get some experience. Once Marquez hits level 10, he'll learn Pass, which is a really useful skill for him to get. Now here I realize I might as well place Federica so that she is in range of the boss, so she can start chipping him down. Now, if I can get Aurora in range of Federica, I can buff her, which will allow her to double Sebastian with the extra 3 speed, which is really good. I also do something a little bit weird there. I place Una in range of the Wyverns. I'd like to say this was a calculated move. Honestly, I recorded this quite a while ago. I think I just forgot she was silenced, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Because this move doesn't really make a lot of sense when I look at it in hindsight. And I'm like, what was I doing there? Was I like trying to protect Frederica or something? Nah, I think I simply just forgot about the silence effect. Derp. But as you can see right there, Frederica deals quite well with the boss, but she does take a lot of damage. So I'm gonna take advantage of her live to serve to heal her up. I always love doing this, like healing myself with live to serve. Now, I could have lied and I could have said that I intentionally took damage on Una to heal Frederica, and that would have made me sound really smart, but that is a lie. It's not the truth, sadly. That happened purely by accident. I could also use Lily for the same purpose, so it would have been completely stupid anyway. But that does leave Lily free to rescue Marquez, so I guess I could have lied and said I would do that too, which would have made me seem really smart, but I'm sure some of you guys would have seen through it and called me out of my bullshit, so I should probably just be honest. Now, I move Una away, allowing Frederica to deal with the Wyverns. I also leave Stark in range because I figure he might be useful in dealing with one of the Wyverns, so I can use Frederica to attack the boss. And I also, of course, I want to bring Aurora in range, because the moment I heal Frederica, that means she doubles, that means she kills Sebastian quicker, and that also means that I can seize this map quicker. Not that turn count is like my primary goal, but I do think it's a little bit pro to complete the map as quickly as possible if you can. As you can see, she has a 12% chance to crit the boss, so that's pretty good. A crit will kill him, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now, at this point, I realized that, shit, I haven't gotten the village, so I need to send Elijah over there and get it. But first, gotta deal with this Wyvern so that he will stop harassing me. Also getting some experience to Stark. He's already gotten his level 10 skills, so I guess it doesn't matter all that much, but still nice, I guess. So here I can actually kill him, but I miss. That's a little bit annoying. And then I realized, shit, I should have healed first, because that would have made me double from the start. But hey, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I still need to go and get the village. And it's some extra experience for that, which is nice. She hits level 10, and she learns Miracle. I don't think you get a message that you learn Miracle. Here, I just want to check like how much damage she does to Belle. And you can see it's pretty terrifying, so don't attack this boss with Belle. That's a really dumb thing to do. So I got the elixir, that's cool. And I assume I'm going to kill the boss on enemy face. But first, I'm just going to heal as much as I can. Again, staff experience, staff rank, and skills, always a nice thing to do. But there's not really that much more to do on this map. The ending is kind of funny, so... again, Frederica doubles now, but she misses because she's at a weapon triangle disadvantage. And I get a really reckless idea. I'm like, maybe Belle can kill the boss. And I fucking do. I honestly... This was so dumb. But I figured, you know, that's a full level for Belle. Takes her a step closer to hitting level 10 and getting charisma. So I'm like, it's worth it. So before I seize the throne, of course I realized that by doing this, I have delayed the seize another turn, because I don't have a dancer, and Belle's the only one who can seize. So I'm like, I might as well heal with my units then and get the most experience possible. So that's gonna be Chapter 11 cleared in 13 turns. Not the most impressive turn count, I guess, but at least I cleared the chapter, so that's something. So yeah, that is Chapter 11, guys, cleared. Now, of course, I have already completed the final chapter live, but I'm probably still going to replay it, because it was a clumsy attempt. It was my first time doing it. I wasn't really sure of the strategy, and I really played slowly, but I did manage to beat Seneca. But I will do it again with a better strategy this time around. And I think I might just end the LP after that, because I'm not sure if Act 2 can be cleared, if I'm going to be completely honest. We'll see if it can, but I don't know if it can. And honestly, these episodes are starting to get really, really difficult to do now, so I might just end it once I kill Seneca. We shall see. We shall see, guys. Anyway, guys, leave a like and a comment. I'll try to get the Seneca episode out soon. Sorry for being a little bit slow. Leave a like and a comment if you're enjoying this LP, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.